Hey, good morning, guys. Hope you're all having a good morning. I just woke up. I was thinking about, I wanted to talk about mirroring, this concept of mirroring, and just, I've just been thinking about it a little bit. Beep that horn. So, like, we're all individuals, right? We're all human beings. We're all the same as far as if we're all human, but we're all unique individuals. We all no two no two human beings are exactly the same. We might have similar qualities, but we're all unique, just as the same way as that no two snowflakes are the same and no animals are exactly the same. Like, God makes everyone different. There's nobody's exactly the same. So with mirroring, I'm trying to think about kind of this thing where, like when we are with different people, we might kind of subconsciously mirror them a little bit. Like, we might kind of, we might not act exactly the same with each person that we talk to. Even though we are our own selves, we might just modify it just a little bit, just subconsciously. We don't even think about it, but like, certain person has a certain kind of personality characteristic, and we might kind of mirror that back just a little bit, just because it's kind of a nice way to like kind of show a connection that, like, oh, you kind of like vibe with that part of their personality a little bit, and you would mirror it back a little bit. But at the same time, we keep our individual selves intact. We still have our own personality too. We're not just trying to just mirror their whole personality back to them or anything. But yeah, subconsciously we might kind of mirror them slightly, and I don't think that that's really like a bad thing. And with each individual, like, you can't expect that we're going to be the same exact way with each person, because each person makes us feel a different way, and that's what creates these kind of like bonds and like things, so where we're like, oh yeah, like when I'm with this person I act this way because this person acts like this. It's like, so yeah. But yeah, sometimes I feel like the mirroring, this is where like survival mode gets into, where people might sometimes try to like mirror to a point where it's a little bit bad, where they try to really kind of like, if they're using it in a manipulative kind of way, or acting out of survival mode, where they're trying to like present an image of who they think that person would want them to be and respond to them in a certain way, or even kind of like, repeat a lot of things that they say a lot of times, and just try to, like, they're not really keeping their individual self intact when they're with that person. They're just mirroring to a point where they're acting like a chameleon, where it's like, when I'm with this person I'm going to act this way, and I'm going to be this person because this person wants me to be this person, and that's what's going to help me to get what I want, or to have the right kind of leverage in this situation. And so yeah, if you think about it with like salesmen and like con artists and scammers, that's kind of a thing to do, in a way, to kind of, how am I going to present myself with each individual, to be able to get what I want out of this person. So yeah, I think that's where if you notice that kind of stuff, and I notice it, it's one of those things where if someone mirrors that level to you, and you're like, who is this person? And here's another thing you can see, because if you observe and are very good at observing people, you'll notice that they act different with other people than they do with you. Like, they're almost like a totally different person when they're with other people or in different situations, and you're like, okay, so that's very like chameleon like. And I know that's like, it comes from survival mode a little bit, right? Like, people sometimes, they have to grow up, they have to figure out how to act with different people to be able to survive. Like, it's a certain kind of like, and so you might not even develop much of an identity or sense of self. Really, your identity is shifts for each person. And like, in the African American community, sometimes they'll call it like code switching and stuff, right? Where they're, based on who they are, they have to kind of, they'll talk differently, in certain situations. They have to do that kind of to survive and stuff. It's almost like, it's sometimes you feel it's like, oh man, that sucks, but it's like, if somebody's, trying to get a job, or they have to act a certain way in a certain kind of environment. You can't really blame people in some level, but yeah, it's just something I was thinking about with this whole concept. And it's just, it's just fascinating because, yeah, sometimes I think I was oblivious, you don't realize people are doing, like, there's something about my personality or something that people would act with me, and I would be like, how come, like, it's like this person is just acting to me, like, it doesn't seem like that they're really, like, showing any kind of personality, like they're really just, like, mirroring me the whole time, like, it's, so I feel like I'm like, who are you, like so you're just this person that you are with me, it's like, but, like, is that, so you do that with each person that you come, it's like, so it's a pretty wild concept. But yeah, what do you guys think? Have you noticed these kind of mirroring aspects? And yeah, it's just something I woke up with. I've been kind of thinking about and and so it's yeah, this stuff happens a lot, and you have to kind of watch yourself and know, it's like, what's going on here, and before you know it, like, yes, like, you might think that person is who they are, but really that's just the persona that they built to be and they put on that mask when they're around you and stuff, and because, so it's like they can shift and they can, do that. So it's, you got to watch out for these kind of things. Yeah, because, yeah, it's like we do it a little bit subconsciously. If there's a little bit of it, I don't think it's that bad. But when it gets to a certain point where it's like a full-on kind of thing, and you notice that, there's totally drastic changes, you're just like, okay, that's, you're like, okay, yeah, what's really going on inside that person, like, who are they, what demons are going on there. But anyways, yeah, you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.